Hi everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. So this is my craziness I'm having right here. I want to show you guys the most frequent question that people ask is, what is a junk journal? Like, what is it? And my description, I know it's hard to say in one sentence, but what I tell people is it's like scrapbooking, but grungier. That is like the best like one-liner I could say without getting into depth like I'm going to today. So there is different varieties of junk journals. I don't claim to be an expert on all the varieties at all. And if you guys have any comments or questions for me, make sure to comment down below. And if you guys have any other examples and other things that I missed, which I'm sure I will, please comment down below. I love to hear about it. I learn every day about junk journaling. There's just so much to learn, and there's so many different varieties that you could do with this. There is no right, there is no wrong. I mean, it's pretty much just your expression and how you want to express it. That's how I see junk journaling. And it's great, you know, because you can take everything that you've done throughout art and throughout your life and put it into a junk journal, which I think is just so great, you know? You got like tons of different tactiles, you got tons of different like styles you can use and objects, and you can use stuff from your house and that you find around the house, and you know, expensive things that you buy and you put into it and you cherish it, and it's just so, there's just so many varieties. So we're just going to kind of touch base on here, show you some examples that I have made, and I'm sure you guys have seen me make a lot of these on my channel, and pretty much all of them or majority of them are in my Etsy shop. So I'll make sure the link is down below, so come check it out, you guys. I really appreciate it. Hit the heart button and it, you know, favor my shop, even if you don't purchase, of course, and that just really gets me out there more, and I really appreciate your guys' support for sure. Okay, so let's dive into it, and I'm just gonna kind of go through and show you guys the materials you can use and like what styles that can be used. So some people like to journal in them, which, you know, of course, and I per se don't journal, which is weird, but I love the art aspect of it all. I don't well, I can't say I don't do that, because I did go on to my Alaska trip and I took one of my junk journals. Yeah, so this Alaska trip one was pretty fun. I mean, we did our thing every day, and I came back and made sure I sat down and, you know, wrote some stuff in it and things, and I had fun. I had a lot of fun in it, and I got some stuff, you know, like some napkins and things from our trip I put in here and made sure, and just some fun little things, and just to remember the trip, which is really fun. But this kind of journal, to segue into this, is a tab spine journal. So you could do little tabs on it, and I did a file folder in the front. I just used like a manila folder, and you just have tabs that you make with the spine, and it's really fun. So that's like one way to do a journal. I just have so many examples here. Burlap. I used some burlap and did a collage for the cover, so that's always good with some fun little shimmery ribbon here. And inside this journal is my clusters. So I got a bunch of clusters here that I made out of just fabric and lace and different things like that. But you can do them out of paper, of course. And I added some tea bags in here and some gessoed fabric, and I think it's just cotton fabric that, yeah, I just put that all in it. And I have one that here's my other one that I've sewn everything in. So this one, these are my cluster journals, where if I need a cluster and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really need something, I come here and I have one just kind of stitched in there. So I just take my stitch ripper and just pop it off, and boom, I have a cluster. And that's why I did fabric and gesso on my papers here for my paper, because it makes it thick, so I can sew in and, you know, pop them out and put more in and just kind of keep doing that. So this is just kind of like a little cluster journal. So this, you know, this is an idea. This is one of the ideas. And like I'm saying, there's just so many different things you can do with junk journals. There's no really one sentence to tell people and say, you know, oh, this is a junk journal. No, I mean, because there really is just so, it depends on, you know, you're making art. You're putting your soul and your heart and your everything into it to make it yours, you know? So every one of them's different. Like this one's a matchbook that I did. And I just did it out of an actual just little matchbook and made a cute little Halloween with little pockets in it. And this one is so cute. How fun is that? With just some little magazine clippings that I put in it. You know, did a little tag in the back. Did a little Velcro. So, a matchbook. Those are always fun. Oops. I have paper bags. So this is one of my paper bag ones, and I did faux leather and suede. This one's like a suede, and I just did it out of a paper bag, and then you have a little snap on it with a little cluster, and then throw in some avocado dyed paper. I think that's what that is. You know, incorporate a feather in there. So that's another example. Speaking of feathers and bags, here's another. I made this one out of a bag. This is one of my most recent ones I've made. And I did a feather cluster, you know, with a little Tim Holtz charm on it, and it's got a snap. So this is just a snippet. This is made out of just pieces of fabric, and then I took some vinyl. I have some iron-on vinyl that I cut from my Cricut, and I did a feather shape here. So this just unsnaps, and this comes off like this. So this is just a cute little cover that goes around your journal to close, you know, a closure. And that's vinyl, and I did some sewing. You know, one of my clusters are right here that I got on my cluster journal, right here and here. And I just glued those down because they were already ready to go. And I just did some sewing like that. So, I mean, this is a fun closure. This is made out of a paper bag. And I did some spackling. Instead of texture paste, I used spackling. And I got that onto the cover. And you just have, you know, your coffee dyed papers, some little booklets. I mean, these little booklets are great that you can, you know, add all kinds of stuff to. You got tea bags that you can draw on, some painty papers, some newspaper clippings. I mean, just whatever calls out to you, you know, like anything that speaks to you that you're like, you know, I want to put that in my journal. And just, you know, some printed off from the internet pieces of paper, you know, all kinds. I mean, however, jeans. I got some jeans that I kept and did a little ruffle with. Yeah, I got some, what is that, parchment paper that I coffee dyed and stuff, and then made it a little pocket, paper bag, pockets. So that's all incorporated, you know. So there we go. That's another example. And I just love this, how it just snaps right on here. And I even made it so it can go bigger as you go bigger with your journal. So you got like a tighter one and then a bigger one. So when you have a little chunky monkey, you can make it bigger. Okay. Let's see. So then I have one that I used out of a box. Like I used an actual shipping box and made a journal with it. Did some quilting on the front with some fabric. So fabric is definitely a way to go that people can use into their journals. And this is just some fun stuff here. And just, yeah, you know, you got some lace that you can put on the side and do that as little tabs on the side. So fabric is definitely a way to go. Okay. And I got some more fabric and then some cluster on the front. I just used some of the Tim Holtz paper dolls. But yeah, oh, let's see on the inside here. I did decoupage on the inside. So I just did magazine clippings too throughout. And I just did a napkin that I gesso stamped and just decoupaged it in here with some glue and water mixture is what I use. And yeah, I just used magazine images, some stenciling, These are all magazine, Halloween magazine, like a craft magazine. And I put this all throughout. So just some fun little things that I've made. And that's just made out of fabric, and it's a pumpkin. So yeah, so magazines are definitely a junk journal thing. Let's see, I got digital. This is one of my digitals. And I just did some sewing right down the middle. With my sewing machine, and put in some dyed papers, and there you go. You got yourself a little booklet. Like, this is great to insert into like another junk journal, or you know, you can take it and put it in here and have it so it's got a little booklet that you pull out. So those are great. Let's see, what else do I got here? Envelopes. Those work amazing. Like, you could do just an envelope here, like that, and then open it up, and you have little pockets that you can add things to. And these are great to insert into your junk journals. You can just clip them on the sides. So those are fun, and you could add a bunch of fun ephemera and stuff, just little papers that you want to play with or journal on. Speaking of envelopes, let's stick with the theme here. You can make them into little booklets, you know. You just have some fun pages that you attach to your little envelope that you made, you know, and make some little pockets inside and some journaling spots, and just, you know, all some stenciled papers, different things like that. I mean, look at this. It's just so much fun. And then it's just a little envelope. Okay. And do I have another envelope? Yes, I got another one. Let's see, there we go. And this just opens up and makes it into just a booklet. And I just added some book pages and stuff to it, and some fun papers to play with, and threw another envelope in here for a pocket, like that. And some coloring pages, and, you know, just different things like that. So that is definitely, and just added a fun little charm to it. So these are great to clip into your journals, or just keep separate to keep, you know, keep some things organized, or have your own little just journal that you grab and you can write in it. Okay, this is a file folder that I did out of just like a file folder, and envelopes are throughout. So this is just a CD case with a little magnet on it, which is great. Let's see. So then you attach your envelopes, and just, it's a little envelope flip here. You got all your little envelopes and stuff, and then I got some fabric in the back, and then this one flips out. So you got like little folio flip outs. So I mean, your imagination is endless on how you want to do these, you know. And then the actual journal part is in here. You can come inside and do your journaling, which is some, you know, decorated pages that I've grunged up. So isn't that cute? So you just find images that you like, and, you know, I got some beads I got dangling off in the middle here. So this is just super fun. All kinds of stuff in here. And then a pocket in the back here. Okay. So yes, you can do file folders. And I used food boxes for this little journal. I just did like cereal box, mac and cheese boxes, any kind of just food box like that. Keep them because they're great. And I made tags. I made a tag journal, and I added tags to it. So it's a little tag journal. So you got tags inside tags. I thought that was kind of fun. So it's just got different pockets throughout. I mean, how fun is that? And I left extra room so anybody wants to put their tags that they've made throughout. But these are all just handmade little tags that I use food boxes with. You know, I just got some food boxes out and put them together. And it's just so much fun. So tags. A little tag journal, and using food boxes is great. And then we got little booklets here, which are great to play with. I did this one the other day. I showed you guys how to do this out of a one piece of paper, and it's kind of fun. So I'll try to remember to put that on the end screen. You guys can check this out. This is one of my popular videos. Everybody loved it. It's just a one piece of construction paper that I've cut in accordion style, folded it all together, and made little pockets with it. So you got pockets that go like this, and it's all just from one piece of paper that is constructed. Oh, and then we got a little flip out. So these little booklets are great to add into your bigger junk journals and stuff. So you have just some fun things to play with and, you know, journal on. Like you can take this out and you can write down, oh, my day was great, and, you know, we went to go see the mountain and the waterfall, and, you know, whatever you did that day, or just whatever you want to remember, you know, and put the date on it. And it's just so much fun. I mean, you just can journal on all kinds of stuff. So it's got all little hidden pockets that you could take things out and write on them. And that's why I think in a summed up sentence, when people ask me, well, what is junk journaling? I'm like, you know, it's a grungier, it's scrapbooking, because everybody knows scrapbooking, and it's just a grungier version, I guess. And I think it's more expressive. Like you can, you know, splatter your paint on that you want. You can take your threads and glue them down, and yeah, so I tell everybody keep their threads because it's great, you know, for clusters and stuff like that. You threads and fabrics that you've dyed, and it just seems like you just put your heart and soul into it, you know, and like you make all this fun little dyed stuff and grunge up the papers, and then you just incorporate them and then put it all together, and it makes just it just makes the funnest little art piece, you know. Like that was so much fun. I did newspaper on the front for a cover. So it's so much fun. And then this I did with tea bags. And like this is a tea bag pocket that you can do. And then some cheesecloth that I dyed. Some sewing pattern paper that I made a little just pocket out of here. Did some just stenciling with texture paste. And then I took watercolors and just kind of colored them in, you know, and all the pages in here are made from tea bags. So I actually took tea bags that I dyed and stuff and incorporated them in throughout. You know, took the little tea toppers and sewed them together. And so it's just whatever your expression is, you know, of how you're feeling. Oh, that one's stuck together. I might as well keep that together and make a pocket with it, huh? That'd be fun. So yeah, so that's what I did. And of course, book pages are great to add. So yeah, tea bags. Those are great to use too. Okay, well, let's see. And then here's another little booklet idea that comes together like this. So you got a cute little booklet that's tied onto the front of it. Great little journal spots. And fabric. I just took fabric and glued it down onto, I think it's a cereal box, you know, and then you got your fun little tag in here. And then it's just a little folio. So you open it up, made a little folio with it, and then just added some pretty papers that you wanted to add. Now let's see what the middle is here. I haven't looked at this one in a while. Whoop, they're stuck together on that one. So it's just a little magazine image. I mean, how fun is that? So yeah, it's just a fun little folio. I think this might have been a mac and cheese box. There, it goes like that. And then you just put your little other journal on top and do your closure all the way around. And there you go. So you got yourself a little folio. And then this is one of my fancier ones here. This one I had a lot of fun. I had fun with all of them, but this is my bee journal, and I did a little more fancy on it. So it comes with a little journal on the front, a little booklet, and this is just a little handmade paper in it, you know, just some fun little things. And I've kind of ripped all the edges and inked them all up, and, you know, just made them how I wanted to make them. And did little fabric you know, fabric and inks and beads. And then I went throughout, did some clusters, and just decorated it all up. So this is, yeah, this one was fun to do. So this is my bee journal. And you can see I did the pages ununiformed. They're not like perfectly cut or by any means. And you just flip through like that. And you just got some fun things to explore and see that you could play with and add to, and you know, little pockets. It's just so much fun. So yeah, so this is my bee journal. And then you got little flip outs, you know, little booklets that you can, the little booklets that we made, like, you know, say this one, we can just add it and flip it out, and it can flip out like that. So it's just a little hinged booklet that you can add to your journals. So many different options. There really is. Okay, we're getting down to it here. Let's see. Okay, so now I have, this is what I'm working on currently. And I will make sure to put that on the end screen. This is a junk journal made from recyclables and trash. So like anything that you're looking at and you're like, oh, I can recycle that, or, you know, I might just throw that away. But then you're like, wait, I can put this in my junk journal. So that's what this one is. And it's pretty much all your junk mail. I just put this together the other day with you guys. And we got, this is just the beginning processes of it. We're gonna decorate it and all kinds of stuff. So you got pockets, you know, envelopes. You got your flyers that come in the mail. You know, you got a flip up that you can do from a flyer. Subway bag that you can make into a pocket. You know, that's a great little pocket. Some more envelopes, magazine pages, some little flyers. So I just kind of bound it all together and, like, you know, got it all ready to play in. And then this is just a cereal bag. Like this. This was bottom of like a pizza. And it didn't have any grease on it. I don't know how that worked out. I must have grabbed it. There might have been two, or I don't know how. But it's cool. It was like a little, it might have been a little placemat thing, I think, under a bowl or something. Maybe that's what it was. Okay, and then this one I thought was so cool in the middle. It's like, this came in the mail like this, you know? And why not decorate it? You can add your own, which I'm going to show you guys real quick. You can add your own stuff to it. So here. So that's what that is. It's just pretty much like junk mail and trash, but we're going to make it beautiful. Okay, so we got that. Now, from magazines, I showed you guys the other day too how to make this, and you just, I'll try to remember to put that on the end screen, so that'll be the last thing I put on the end screen for you guys. But it's a magazine. You take it and you fold all the papers down, and you fold these down, and you make a cool little booklet with it, right? Now, when you take out the pages, how I show you to, I put them all over here, and I didn't want to throw the extra pages away, so I made a booklet with it. And I went through and took my deli papers, or my painty papers, and glued them onto it. So how fun is that? And then we can play in this. So I thought that was just a fun little thing to do. Okay. Now, the last thing here is you could do a glue book. Glue books are great. Tear books. It's a glue, tear. I heard somebody said the other day, flow journal. I'm like, okay, that's great. Love that. Now, what you could do in it, and a lot of people take magazine clippings and, you know, like you could just take a phone book. You could take the flyers from that come in the mail, you know, things like that. And you can even do this out of a magazine. But people take magazine clippings and they will glue them all down in it and do some fun art pages that way. Now, what I did in this one is I took my paints, and I showed you guys how to make chalk paint. And I just kind of painted, every day I come in here, I just do a little paint down and just paint some stuff like that and just get some paint on it. And then I showed a video you guys I did stenciling on top of it. I did some tissue paper and deli paper that I've stenciled, and I glued that down. Same over here. I did some stamping, some napkins. Okay, so those are just some ideas that you could do in your tear journals. Now with a tear journal, you would just take it and tear out the page and add it per se to your junk journals, or, you know, like this kind of journal, like, or any journal. I mean, you could just tear this out and actually make it a page in your journal. Like, it would be great. So that's the purpose of these, is that you add all your paints and your stuff and the things you want to do to it, and then you could tear it out and then add it in and put it in here and make a page of art with it. So I hope that makes sense. I hope all this makes sense to you guys. And if you guys have any other things that you would love to add, please comment down below, because I am an open book, an open journal. And yeah, let me know. I love hearing from you guys. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It helps me so much, and it gets my video out there way further, and other people can see what the heck is a junk journal and how and why. And this is just my perspective of it all, and what I have and what I've learned so far on making junk journals. So if you guys could please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you guys will see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, and share, and let's grow together and keep on crafting.